Did life come from space? That sounds like alien nonsense. Like a tiny green man sneezed on a rock, threw it at Earth, and now we have sandwiches, dogs, taxes, and people arguing about pizza toppings. Probably not. But there is a real scientific idea hiding inside the silly version. Maybe life did not start with aliens in shiny helmets. Maybe it started with a dirty little space rock, a very suspicious rock. Imagine you are walking outside and a meteorite lands in front of you. Boom, tiny crater, smoke, everyone screams. One kid points at it and says, "Is that a space seed?" And weirdly, that kid is not completely wrong. Not right, but not completely wrong. Because some scientists have asked a strange question. What if Earth got help from space? Not a finished animal, not a baby dinosaur in a meteor egg, not a tiny astronaut carrying a clipboard. Help, tiny chemical help. The idea is called Panspermia. That word sounds like a spell a wizard would say before sneezing. Panspermia. But it basically means seeds everywhere. The idea is simple. Maybe life, or the ingredients for life, can travel through space on rocks, dust, asteroids, or comets. Like the universe has a terrible delivery service. Your package may arrive burned, frozen, cracked, and 4 billion years late. But hey, free shipping. Here's why anyone even thinks about this. A long time ago, Earth was not a cute blue planet with birds, trees, and people losing one sock in the laundry. Early Earth was a disaster kitchen. Lava, steam, lightning, giant rocks falling from the sky. The floor was lava, except the floor was actually lava, which is less fun. Then somehow, life appeared. Not rabbits, not flowers, not a tiny guy named Kevin. Simple life, tiny cells, small, soft, almost invisible living things. And that is the mystery. How do you go from dead chemicals to a living cell? A cell is not just a blob. A cell has walls, instructions, tiny machines, tiny doors, tiny workers, and a very strict please do not explode policy. Making life from non-life is like trying to build a whole city out of soup, and the soup keeps spilling. So scientists ask, did Earth make all the ingredients by itself, or did space deliver some of them? This is where meteorites become suspicious. A meteorite looks like a boring rock. Usually it is black, lumpy, and not invited to birthday parties. But inside some meteorites, scientists have found organic molecules. Organic does not mean alive. It means carbon-based chemistry, the kind life uses. Think of it like groceries. Flour is not a cake. Sugar is not a cake. Eggs are not a cake. If you put flour, sugar, and eggs on the floor and shout cake now, nothing good happens. But you cannot make cake without ingredients. Life has ingredients too. Amino acids help make proteins. Nucleobases help store instructions in DNA and RNA. Sugars help build important molecules. These are not living things. They are more like tiny Lego pieces. NASA and other scientists have found some of these pieces in meteorites. Not all in one magic life box. Not with a label that says open for dinosaur, but enough to make scientists go, And when scientists say, it usually means something is either very exciting or very expensive. Sometimes both. One famous meteorite is called Murchison. It fell in Australia in 1969. People found pieces of it because apparently when space throws a rock at your neighborhood, humans immediately say, I should pick that up. Inside meteorites like Murchison, scientists have found amino acids and other interesting organic molecules. Later, researchers also detected sugars in carbon-rich meteorites, including ribose, a sugar used in RNA. That matters because RNA is one of life's instruction molecules. Again, this does not mean the meteorite was alive. It means the meteorite carried useful parts, a cosmic grocery bag. Then NASA brought back an even cleaner clue. A spacecraft called OSIRIS-REx visited an asteroid named Bennu. Bennu is basically a giant space potato with secrets. The spacecraft collected a tiny sample and dropped it back to Earth in 2023. Scientists love this because the sample did not sit in mud, rain, bugs, and weird Earth germs first. It came sealed from space. That is important because Earth is messy. Earth bacteria are everywhere. If you leave a sandwich on the ground, Earth immediately sends a full cleaning crew made of ants, mold, and regret. So a clean asteroid sample is precious. When scientists studied Bennu, they found many life-related ingredients, including amino acids and all 5 nucleobases that Earth life uses in DNA and RNA. They also found signs of ancient salty water chemistry. That is wild. But the most important sentence is this. They did not find life. No tiny alien worm, no space hamster, no cell waving from inside the rock, just ingredients. And ingredients are not the same as dinner. This is the part people mix up. When scientists say, we found building blocks of life, some people hear, we found aliens. No, that is like finding bricks and saying, we found a school. Bricks can help make a school, but a pile of bricks does not teach math, usually. So the safer idea is not that living aliens arrived in a meteorite. The safer idea is that space rocks may have delivered useful chemistry to early Earth. Earth still had to do the cooking. The wilder version is actual panspermia. That says tiny living microbes might travel inside rocks from one world to another. For example, imagine ancient Mars had microbes. We do not know that it did. But imagine, A giant asteroid hits Mars. Boom! Some Mars rocks fly into space. Inside one rock, a tiny microbe is hiding, probably having the worst day in microbe history. Then that rock travels through space. It is freezing. Radiation is punching it. There is no snack cart. After a very long time, the rock falls onto Earth, burns through the air, crashes, and somehow the microbe survives. That is the panspermia dream. Also, that is the worst Uber ride ever. Could it happen? Maybe in some cases, scientists study pieces of the problem. Some microbes are shockingly tough. Some can survive drying, freezing, radiation, or long sleeping states better than you would expect. Rocks can sometimes protect what is inside them. And we know rocks can travel between planets because scientists have found meteorites on Earth that came from Mars. So the story is not impossible, like a dragon with 8 sunglasses, but it is not proven. The journey is brutal. First, life has to exist somewhere else. Then a rock has to launch without cooking it. Then it has to survive space. Then it has to land on a planet that is friendly enough. Then it has to wake up and start a whole family. That is not a plan. That is a tiny germ winning every level of space disaster game. Possible? Maybe. Proven? No. And there is another problem. Panspermia does not really answer the biggest question. It moves it. If life came from Mars, then how did life start on Mars? If life came from another star, then how did life start there? It is like cleaning your room by throwing all your socks into your brother's room. Your room looks better, but the sock problem is still alive, possibly angrier. So what should we actually believe? Here's the simple DODO version. Life probably did not arrive as a tiny alien animal in a rock. We do not have evidence for that, but space almost certainly delivered lots of material to early Earth. Some of that material included water, carbon chemistry, amino acids, sugars, nucleobases, and other useful pieces. Not life, pieces. Earth was the kitchen. Space may have brought groceries, and somewhere in that messy ancient kitchen, with water, heat, minerals, lightning, time, and chemicals bumping into each other like confused shopping carts, something began to copy itself. Then it changed. Then it survived. Then it became cells. Then, after billions of years, it became trees, fish, dogs, mushrooms, your nose, and one person in every classroom who eats glue, even though everyone says, please stop. Life is weird. Very weird. So did life come from space? Maybe not as life. Maybe as ingredients. Maybe the first living thing was cooked here on Earth, but some of the recipe fell from the sky. And that is somehow stranger than aliens. Because it means the next time you look up at a meteor, you are not just looking at a falling rock. You might be looking at an ancient delivery truck. Late, burned, extremely dramatic, but still carrying a clue. Maybe life did not fall from the sky fully alive. Maybe the sky delivered the groceries and Earth cooked the soup.